Hi. Many of you have not answered practice series questions uh, in which it has been asked that how systematic desensitization, counterconditioning and conditioned test aversion involve classical conditioning principle. You need not to discuss that these things have been given by bulb and all. These are peripheral things. If you say that it involves principle of reciprocal determinism, okay, but tell clearly that how it is based on classical conditioning principles. As you know that in classical conditioning principles, two things get connected just because of their proximity. So you must emphasize this thing. It is not like that you are just discussing what is classical conditioning principle. So see this thing. In systematic desensitization process, what happens? That one stimulus and one response is paired, already paired. A stimulus, you can say, for example, a spider, and response is fear. Here what happens? In systematic desensitization process, it is just a gradual weakening of this response. Gradual weakening. So what weakens? This conditioned response. So it is not like that new response is being learned. Simply that this the faulty connection is gradually diminishing because it is no more reinforced. So that is, you cannot say that reinforced because reinforcement will not be appropriate word, but simply you can say that, see, when stimulus is present, spider is present, this fear response comes, but actually normal neutral response is what? Relax. We are naturally relaxed. So we are moving towards this altered state to relaxed states. So here subject is taught how to be in natural form, relaxed form. This is very natural. You are not learning anything. See this thing. And whatever things you have learned, unfortunately, that is going to give this response, fear response to this one, gradually this response will be weakened. Okay, because you are capitalizing on this one. So simply the bond between S and R is diminishing. You know, this is the thing. You are not learning anything new. Simply you are, it processes of unlearning, gradual weakening. See this. But what happens in counter conditioning? If you see this thing, counter conditioning is that initially see a spider, and here is fear. Okay, and this one is food, and this one is pleasant emotion. When these two things are constantly paired, these things again and again, then what will happen? Then after that, when a spider will be there, then it may evoke pleasant response. Means you may, because of this conditioning. So conditioning is occurring between this system of spider and food. This is CSUS kind of thing. So the response is pleasant emotions, not just fear, you know. So gradually see. Before that, what was the situation? That these two were separate things. Spider and so-called food. There was no any connection, but you have created this situation. So before, during and after. So why it is called counter conditioning? Because this unpleasant response is replaced by pleasant one. So a new connection is developed. Initially it was given S was being followed by what? Fear. So this fear is being replaced by just opposite emotion, counter emotion, so called pleasant emotions. So opposite emotions. They were negative and this is replaced by positive. Okay, now next one is see. In counter conditioning, it is like this. But it is for nice, means nice response is replacing the nasty response. Here, nasty response will replace the nice response. How? You can see here. I am telling you here, see this thing. In conditioned test aversion, what happens? This is, see, this is alcohol, and then what? Pleasant response. And this medicine, some medicine, and then vomiting. So this is before. Now during, these two will pair. These two will be paired. Mean alcohol, pleasant response, plus then medicine, sin vomiting. See, this pairing is taking place. Now this thing, because of this pairing, now if this one is stronger than this one, then this will get connected to this thing. So after that, just give alcohol, then vomiting feeling will come. You know, I hope you have understood. So see this thing. In conditioned test aversion and in counter conditioning, concept is same. But what is replacing? That in former one, the pleasant one is replacing the nasty one. Here, unpleasant is replacing the pleasant one. So this one is the slight differences. And in conditioned test aversion, what is special? Two things are special. What? One thing is called that Garcia research and many other have successfully shown that the time, how much time is taken in during conditioning, you know, how much time is required to get, to acquire something. It could be just, one exposure will be time and trial, how many trial and how much time. So minimum time maybe. Trial, how many trial is required? Minimum. And third one is that biological preparedness. Biological preparedness, this one is the third one. So it appears that certain species are biologically prepared to acquire certain aversion very quickly. So 3 points are there that are very, it is not that it is not just gradual. Something may be very quick and in one trial, and certain species very quickly learn something. So this is a special feature. Okay, these are the special features of conditioned test aversion. The rest are same. So all these three involves classical conditioning principles, but this one have certain special feature. So this is the only thing. What most students have done, and they have discussed a lot of things about classical conditioning. Actually, you should tell very specifically and precisely that how these principles are based on classical conditioning. So what will be the answer? You just tell that how these things involve classical conditioning mechanism. So just emphasize and specify the mechanism, that how things work on classical conditioning principle. That will be that things automatically will prove that these are based on classical conditioning principles. So I hope you have understood this thing. In next video I will discuss something else. Thank you.